Hello and welcome to the Voice of Todd. I'm Tom, and with this one we're going to take a look at some news for the sequel to Extraction, the Netflix film that came out last year, I think. Starred Chris Hemsworth, and outside of John Wick, it was one of the best action films I've seen in a long time. We are here on, I'm on MSN Entertainment. I think this is taken from Cover Media, but I will link this website in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. Feel free. Let's take a look at this news here. Chris Hemsworth's Extraction sequel to shoot in Australia. Now, there was moments of the first one that were in Australia as well, so be interesting to see what that adds to the narrative of this, with the idea that this character could go anywhere in the world. Sequel to Chris Hemsworth's hit Netflix film Extraction will film in Australia. According to Joe Russo, production is headed down under on the second installment of the franchise. It became the most watched original film in Netflix's history after its release in 2020. Speaking to Nova's Smallsy Surgery, he teased, "We're really excited about Extraction 2. Part of that film will actually be shot in Australia as well." Oh, only part of that film. Okay. The movie tells the story of Hemsworth's Tyler Rake, fearless black market mercenary who is solicited to rescue kidnapped children of an imprisoned international crime lord. They must be talking about the first one there. At the time the sequel was announced, Joe shared, "Deal is closed for me to write Extraction 2, and we're in the formative stages of what that story can be. We're not commenting yet on whether the story goes forward or backward in time. We left a big, loose ending that leaves question marks for the audience." That's very true. Russo also said he expected Extraction director Sam Hargrave, who is a long-time collaborator with the Russo brothers, to helm the sequel. I think you need to have the Russos and Sam Hargrave back to make this work. You need the stunt team back as well, because the thing that made this film so good, let's go back to handsome Chris there. There's a reason that this film worked, and it was the stunts, it was the lethality that they brought to this film and the character. We know Hemsworth can do stunts, we know he looks great doing action. This was grittier, this was darker, this had a much more human feel to it, and the action was just mind-blowing. Very lethal, very fast, very well choreographed. The story was what you'd expect. There wasn't anything really special about the story, but the character, the way that the action erupted around him was insane. It was as good as the Bourne films, it was as good as John Wick. That's the kind of level that I have Extraction at. It's interesting that Joe Russo mentions it could be a prequel or a sequel. The film does leave it open. If you haven't seen it, go watch it right now. If you've got Netflix, just do it, because it's well worth your time. I personally would be okay with a prequel here to see how he got into the line of work that he's in. I think he's a very interesting character that you can do a lot with. But I'd take a sequel as well. I think we're in quite an interesting world that they've set up that you could do anything. We just don't know. With part of it being shot in Australia, we know in the first one, as I've mentioned, part of it was shot. There were a few moments where he wasn't on the job, I guess, which I think was based in India. Australia was his home. I can see part of it being there. If the whole thing was there, that could be interesting. But we'll see. Like I said, you can take this anywhere in the globe. I'm really excited about this. I'm really looking forward to seeing more, hearing more, and I hope it will live up to the standard that the first one has set. There's a reason it was the most watched original film in Netflix's history last year. Definitely worth your time if you haven't seen it. But that's where I'm going to call this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.